Imagine a place where your very breath does not simply fade into the air, but crystallizes the instant it escapes your lips, falling to the earth with a tiny metallic whisper. The locals call this the whispering of stars. At -60 degrees, the atmosphere is not merely cold. It is an active predatory force that clamps down on your chest, turning every inhale into a quiet battle. Most people will never see this world. They look at a map and see an empty, frozen void, a giant vacant lot on the edge of the globe. But they are wrong. This is Siberia, a silent, breathtaking empire that stretches across 7 time zones, occupying over 13 million square kilometers of the Earth's surface. It is a land of impossible scale, where ancient permafrost runs more than a kilometer deep, yet active volcanoes still shoot pillars of fire into the polar sky. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live at the absolute limit of human endurance? How would your mind, your soul, and your daily worries change if you were stripped of the noise of modern life and placed in a landscape where a single mistake is immediately fatal? Welcome to Ust-Nera. Tucked deep within the Ovmyakan highlands of northeastern Yakutia, this small settlement of fewer than 5,000 souls lives in a perpetual dance with the freeze. In the depths of January, a heavy, freezing fog settles over the valley. The sky remains a pale, perpetual twilight, and the temperature routinely plunges past -58 degrees Celsius. Here, the cold dictates every movement. Modern infrastructure becomes useless. Pipes freeze solid into iron-like rods, and car engines must be left running continuously day and night. Because if a motor stops for even an hour, the oil sets like concrete, sealing the vehicle in a permanent, icy tomb. When you walk down the street, plastic shopping bags freeze until they are as brittle as glass, snapping in two under the slightest weight. Yet, if you look through the thick, frozen mist, you will see a world of surprising warmth. Children, bundled in thick layers of sheepskin and felt boots, walk calmly to school. Smoke drifts in slow, beautiful plumes from the wooden chimneys of log cabins, rising straight into the motionless Arctic air like pillars of gray marble. The people of Ust-Nera do not merely survive here. They have learned to listen to the silence of the land. This is the homeland of the Saka people, also known as the Yakuts. 1,000 years ago, their nomadic ancestors migrated north from the warmer steppes of Central Asia. To survive here, they had to adapt in ways that defy modern biology. They bred the legendary Yakut horse, a creature with a thick, shaggy coat and short, powerful legs that survives the brutal winter entirely outdoors, digging through meters of snow with its hooves to find frozen grass. In Yakut culture, the horse is not an animal. It is a sacred brother begotten by the sun itself. Their ancient epic, the Olanko, is sung in haunting, rhythmic voices passed down through generations, telling tales of a world where the sun is a living being and the earth is held aloft by cosmic stallions. To stand in the snows of Yakutia is to feel this ancient mythology pressing close against you, as if the modern world were nothing more than a passing dream. But the true artery of life in this frozen empire is the Lena River. Running more than 4,000 kilometers from the mountains of Lake Baikal to the Arctic Ocean, it is the 11th longest river on Earth. For most of the year, it is a wild, rushing torrent, but when winter seals the land, the Lena undergoes a spectacular transformation, freezing into a massive, solid highway of blue ice up to 2 meters thick. For remote northern communities cut off from the rest of the world, this ice road is their only lifeline. Heavy trucks, loaded with fuel, food, and medicine, embark on perilous journeys across the frozen river. Imagine driving a 30-ton semi-truck over a shifting sheet of ice, with nothing but hundreds of feet of dark, freezing water beneath you. Every few miles, the ice groans and cracks under the weight, sending deep, echoing boom-like thunderclaps through the chassis of your truck. If you drive too fast, the weight of your vehicle creates an underwater wave that can shatter the ice ahead of you. If you drive too slow, the ice can sag and give way, plunging you instantly into the black abyss. Dozens of trucks are lost to the river every single year, swallowed by the cold current. It is an act of pure terrifying defiance. Have you ever had to face a situation in your life where survival depended entirely on your patience, where every step had to be weighed against the very real possibility of disaster? How would you handle the psychological pressure of knowing that the only thing keeping you alive was a temporary sheet of ice? As you follow the frozen highway of the Lena, the flat banks suddenly give way to a monumental stone frontier. These are the Lena Pillars. Rising more than 150 meters straight out of the snow, this vertical forest of rock towers stretches for kilometers along the riverbank, sculpted over 500 million years by freeze-thaw cycles, tectonic uplift, and the slow, patient erosion of ancient seas. The pillars look like silent, stone giants watching over the empty wilderness. The indigenous people have long considered them sacred, believing they are ancient warriors turned to stone, waiting for the day they are called to awaken. This is only the beginning of our journey. If you are ready for this epic story, drop a comment telling me where in the world you are watching from, hit the like button, subscribe to Earth Discovery, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Join us as we leave the frozen heart of Yakutia behind and head toward the edge of the Pacific, where ice and fire collide. Leave behind the frozen stillness of Yakutia, where the cold locks the world in a silent embrace, and journey southeast toward a frontier where the Earth is still violently being born. This is the Kamchatka Peninsula, a wild, 1,200-kilometer finger of land jutting out into the cold waters of the Pacific Ocean. It is a primeval domain of absolute contrasts, home to over 300 volcanoes, 29 of which still breathe fire and ash into the Arctic sky. Here, white snowfields lie draped over black lava flows, emerald valleys are carved by rushing salmon rivers, and steaming geysers paint the air with curtains of sulfur-scented mist. Kamchatka holds the highest density of brown bears on the planet, giants that roam unchecked through a wilderness largely untouched by human roads. It is a land that does not acknowledge the modern era, existing in a state of raw, dangerous creation. Have you ever stood in a place that made you feel completely insignificant? A place where the sheer, unbridled power of nature forces you to realize that we are merely temporary guests on this restless planet. Our entry into this volcanic realm begins at Tolbachik, a place often called the Black Moon of Kamchatka. In 2012, Tolbachik woke up with a fury that shook the peninsula. For more than a year, rivers of molten basalt poured across the high plateau, swallowing forests and turning valleys into a smoking, jagged wasteland of black ash and twisted volcanic glass. Today, walking across this plateau is like stepping through a portal onto another planet. The ground crunches under your boots like crushed coal, the air smells sharply of iron, and pale plumes of superheated steam still drift silently from deep hidden fissures in the earth. The landscape is so utterly alien, so devoid of life, that Soviet scientists once used this very ground to test the remote-controlled lunar rovers for space missions. Standing here, under a heavy gray sky with the silent peaks looming in the distance, you realize that this is what the Earth looked like billions of years ago, before life ever took root. Rising above the city of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky is Avachinsky, a perfect, symmetrical cone climbing over 2,700 meters into the clouds. Avachinsky is the silent guardian of the coast, watching over the harbor with the quiet, terrifying authority of an old god. For those brave enough to climb its steep, ash-covered slopes, the journey begins in the absolute blackness of midnight. You climb through the biting wind, your headlamp cutting a tiny path through the dark, guided only by the rhythmic crunch of gravel beneath your feet. And then, just as your muscles begin to fail, you reach the crater rim. The first light of dawn spills over the vast blue expanse of the Pacific Ocean, illuminating the entire chain of Kamchatka's volcanoes lining the horizon like a row of sleeping giants. Below you, the active crater glows with heat, a reminder that the giant is only sleeping. But if Avachinsky is a monument to majesty, the volcano Mutnovsky is a descent into a dream. Inside its colossal, collapsed crater, the boundary between the living world and the underworld completely dissolves. Massive glaciers of blue ice hang directly over vents of boiling mud. Bright yellow mounds of pure sulfur glow against the dirty snow, while towering fumaroles hiss with the deafening roar of steam escaping from deep pressure chambers of the earth. The air shimmers with heat, thick with the scent of minerals and the damp warmth of the planet's core. To walk through Mutnovsky is to feel the earth breathe. It is a sensory overload where fire and ice do not fight, but coexist in a fragile, steaming truce. Deep within the Kronotsky Nature Reserve lies the legendary Valley of Geysers. Discovered by accident in 1941, this isolated canyon holds nearly 90 active geysers, the second largest concentration on Earth. Because there are no roads leading here, the valley is protected by its sheer isolation. Plumes of boiling water erupt from the mossy ground at unpredictable intervals, painting the canyon walls in vivid shades of red, orange, and white as dissolved minerals stain the stone. Massive brown bears walk calmly through the warm steam, drawn by the thermal heat and the abundance of salmon returning to spawn in the hot rivers. It is a pristine sanctuary where humanity has left no footprint, a living fossil of the prehistoric world. If you could visit one place on Earth where human influence is entirely absent, where nature still rules with absolute authority, would you choose the silent, frozen valleys of the north, or a volcanic canyon where the ground bubbles and steam rises into the cold air? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your perspectives help shape the path of our journeys. Stretching south from the tip of Kamchatka are the Kuril Islands, a lonely, fog-shrouded archipelago of 56 volcanic landmasses curving toward Japan. At the northernmost point of this chain rises Atlasov Island, dominated entirely by the volcano Altai. Altai is a single, near-perfect cone rising over 2,300 meters directly out of the cold, stormy waters of the Sea of Okhotsk. Wrapped in near-constant mist and lashed by oceanic gales, Atlasov Island is a place of absolute solitude. No one lives here. The only witnesses to its silent, smoking summit are the millions of seabirds that nest on its black basalt cliffs. But perhaps the most haunting monument to human ambition in this wild sea stands on the rugged coast of Sakhalin Island, the Aniva Lighthouse. Built by Japanese engineers in 1939 on a lonely, storm-battered rock, this 9-story concrete tower was once a vital beacon for ships navigating the treacherous currents of the Sea of Okhotsk. After World War II, the Soviet Union claimed the island and converted the lighthouse to run on radioactive isotope thermoelectric generators, allowing it to operate automatically without a keeper. Today, Aniva stands completely abandoned. Its silent, peeling corridors are empty, its powerful light is dark, and the radioactive engines have long been removed. The rooms where lonely keepers once watched the sea are now ruled only by the salt wind and nesting seabirds. From the air, it looks like a colossal stone candle left burning on the edge of a forgotten world, slowly being reclaimed by the relentless sea. What do you think is more powerful? The monuments we build to conquer the wild, or the quiet, patient way that nature slowly reclaims everything we leave behind? If this journey into the volcanic heart of Siberia has captivated you, take a moment to hit the like button. Share this video with someone who loves deep exploration, and stay with us. Our journey is about to cross into the most isolated reaches of the continent, where nomads still follow ancient paths and stone giants stand guard over a silent plateau. Are you ready to see what lies beyond the map? To travel west from the volcanic fringes of the Pacific is to plunge into a silence so profound it becomes a physical sensation. We are entering the most isolated reaches of the Siberian interior, lands where modern maps fail to capture the true scale of the emptiness. Here, the Earth behaves in ways that seem to defy its own rules, preserving lifestyles and landscapes that have remained unchanged since the last ice age. Our journey leads us first to the far northwest, to a flat frozen tongue of land extending into the icy Kara Sea, the Yamal Peninsula. In the language of its indigenous inhabitants, the Nenets, Yamal means simply the end of the world. It is a vast, featureless expanse of tundra where there are no trees, no roads, and no landmarks. The horizon is a single, uninterrupted line of white, and the cold wind sweeps across the plains with nothing to block its path. Yet, in this absolute void lives one of the last true nomadic cultures on our planet, the Nenets herders. For over 1,000 years, the Nenets have survived by moving in a perpetual cyclical rhythm, following their massive herds of reindeer along a yearly migration path that stretches over 1,000 kilometers. This is not a journey of choice, it is a necessity of life. Reindeer must move to find fresh lichen beneath the snow, and the Nenets must follow the reindeer. Imagine packing up your entire life every few days, dismantling your home in temperatures that routinely drop below -50 degrees Celsius. The Nenets live in conical tents called chums, made from dozens of long wooden poles wrapped in thick layers of reindeer hide. A family can dismantle a chum loaded to a wooden sled and prepare to move in less than an hour, a task traditionally led by the women of the family. They wear clothes made of heavy reindeer fur turned inward against the skin, providing a level of insulation that no modern synthetic fabric can match. They eat raw reindeer meat and drink the fresh, warm blood of the herd, which provides them with the essential vitamins and heat needed to keep their bodies alive in the deep freeze. At night, as the green ribbons of the aurora borealis dance across the black sky, the family huddles around a small iron stove in the center of the chum, while outside, thousands of reindeer press close together in the dark, their soft breathing the only sound for miles around. Have you ever looked at your own life, with all its modern schedules, bills, and digital distractions, and wondered what it would feel like to completely strip it all away? Could you survive even a single week in a world where your entire survival depended on the health of a reindeer herd and the strength of your own hands against the wind? Or do you think our modern world has made us too soft to ever return to the land? Tell me your honest thoughts in the comments below. I want to know if you think human resilience is something we are born with, or if it is something we lose as we build more comfortable cities. From the flat tundra of Yamal, we move toward the center of the continent, where the land suddenly lifts into a colossal fortress-like barrier. This is the Putorana Plateau. Spanning an area larger than the United Kingdom, Putorana is a remote highland of basalt traps formed by a massive volcanic eruption over 250 million years ago, an event that triggered the greatest mass extinction in Earth's history. There are no roads here, no cities, and no permanent human residents. The only way to witness this place is from the air, drifting low over sheared basalt canyons that drop hundreds of meters into dark, silent gorges. The flat-topped mountains look like the broken steps of a giant staircase, worn down by the slow passage of glaciers and ice. Putorana holds the highest concentration of waterfalls in Russia, with thousands of cascades plunging from the cliffs, vanishing into a fine, icy mist before they ever reach the canyon floor. At the heart of the plateau lies Lama Lake, a long, deep finger of crystal-clear water flanked by towering walls of dark, weathered stone. It is a place of absolute untouched silence. In Putorana, you are not merely looking at nature, you are standing in a temple of geological time, a place that does not know that humanity exists. Further south, deep in the northern Ural Mountains, stand the stone giants of Manpupuner. 7 immense pillars of weathered rock rise abruptly from a flat, windswept plateau, the tallest climbing 42 meters into the air. For the indigenous Mansi people, these stones are not geological anomalies. They are the frozen bodies of 7 hostile giants who tried to destroy their ancestors. The legend says that as the giants marched across the mountains, the tribal shaman raised a sacred barrier, turning them instantly to stone. For millions of years, the wind and rain have carved these rocks, leaving them to stand like lonely sentinels on the edge of the world. And yet, the contradictions of this land never cease. East of the Urals, hidden within the endless green of the taiga forest, lies a true geographical impossibility: the Chara Sands. Here, golden desert dunes, some rising 30 meters high, stretch for kilometers. But instead of palm trees and oasis pools, they are flanked by frozen blue glaciers, snowfields, and dense forests of Siberian pine. It is a desert lost in the Arctic, a place where the rules of climate and geography seem to overlap in a beautiful, surreal collage. If you look at the stones of Manpupuner or the sands of the Chara Desert, you realize that Siberia is a place where legends and physical realities are completely intertwined. Which of these isolated worlds captures your imagination more? The ancient, nomadic life of the Nenets herders on the flat tundra, or the silent, hidden stone giants of the Urals? If you are captivated by these unseen wonders, please hit the like button and share this story with someone who needs to see that there are still mysteries left on this earth. Stay with us as we turn south toward a colorful frontier where the mountains look like painted canvases and a train rides on the surface of a pink lake. Chapter 4 is waiting. Our path now turns sharply south toward a rugged ancient frontier where the dense boreal forests and flat, marshy plains finally erupt into a collision of massive mountains. This is Altai, nestled at the high-altitude crossroads where the borders of Russia, Mongolia, China, and Kazakhstan meet. The Altai Mountains stand as a monumental fortress of ice, rock, and steppe. It is a landscape of impossible, saturated colors that seem entirely painted by hand. In Altai, the Earth does not merely present geographical features. It displays its own deep, geological history as a vivid work of art. To step into southeastern Altai is to leave behind all familiar earthly environments. Welcome to the Kizilchin Valley, a place known to explorers and geologists as the Mars of Altai. Tucked into a remote, windswept basin, this valley is a desert of intense, fiery colors. Slopes of red clay rich in iron oxides, manganese, and chromium rise in undulating ridges of crimson, burnt orange, bright ochre, and pale gold. The colors run in perfect, stratified bands, a visual record of ancient lake beds and mineral sediment laid down over hundreds of millions of years, slowly exposed to the sky by the patient carving of wind and seasonal streams. Against the brilliant, snow-clad peaks of the Altai giantesses rising in the background, Kizilchin appears entirely alien, as though a segment of the Martian dunes had fallen onto the cold Siberian highlands. Walking through these canyons, with the red dust rising around your boots and the silent wind whistling through the dry clay, you realize that the Earth holds pockets of landscape that completely reject the rules of green and blue. Have you ever visited a landscape that felt so intensely alien, it forced you to reconsider your place in the universe? Does the sight of Altai's red canyons make you feel as if you are standing on another planet entirely? Or does it make you feel a deeper, more ancient connection to our own? Let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts keep our shared exploration alive. Not far from the red slopes of Kizilchin lies a hidden sanctuary that holds a very different kind of geological secret. Tucked inside a quiet forest of larch and pine is Geyser Lake. Despite its name, there are no actual geysers here. No boiling water shoots into the sky. Instead, this small, clear thermal spring is famous for what occurs on its floor. Deep, underground springs push up fine, blue clay and silt from the center of the lake bed. This clay slowly spreads outward in near-perfect, concentric rings, circles, and turquoise ovals across the bottom. The patterns are not static. They shift and morph gently throughout the day as the pressure of the springs rises and falls. Because the water is so transparent, the rings look like a giant glowing blue eye staring up from the depths of the forest floor, a silent, natural painting that never quite finishes itself. It is a place of deep, atmospheric stillness, where the only movement is the slow, breathing pulse of the blue clay beneath the mirror-like surface. But if Geyser Lake is an eye of quiet turquoise, Altai's western steppes hold a body of water that defies all belief. This is Lake Berlinskoy, the legendary pink lake of Siberia. Every summer, as the temperature rises and the water evaporates, Microscopic algae and tiny brine shrimp multiply in their millions, turning the shallow, highly saline water into a deep, mesmerizing shade of rose and crimson. Since the 18th century, Soviet and Russian workers have harvested salt from these mineral waters, and to facilitate the process, engineers built a railway line directly into the lake bed. As you watch from the shore, a heavy, iron train glides slowly across the water, looking as though it is traveling over a pink mirror that stretches to the horizon. The tracks are completely submerged beneath the pink water, creating the surreal dreamlike illusion of a phantom locomotive sailing over an endless, rose-colored sea. It is an image that looks entirely like a painting, a spectacular convergence of heavy industry and natural beauty. Which of these natural wonders strikes you as the most impossible? The red Martian clay of Kizilchin, the shifting blue eye of Geyser Lake, or a train gliding across the pink water of Lake Berlinskoye? If these spectacular sights have captured your imagination, take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe to Earth Discovery, and share this video with others who want to see the world's hidden secrets. The only route connecting these wonders is the Chuya Highway, a ribbon of asphalt that climbs over 900 kilometers through the heart of the Altai Republic all the way to the Mongolian border. Named by National Geographic as one of the most beautiful roads on the planet, every curve of the highway reveals a new landscape. It winds past ancient burial mounds, vertical stone steles carved by nomads thousands of years ago, and high alpine passes where wild horses run free against the sky. Eventually, the highway leads to the edge of the Katu Yerik Pass, one of the most dramatic and terrifying descents in the world. Here, a narrow, unpaved gravel road winds down the vertical face of an immense canyon, dropping nearly 800 meters in 9 tight, nerve-wracking switchbacks. Drivers stop at the edge of the cliff, simply to look down into the vast green valley below, where the Chalishman River shines like a silver thread. The valley itself is a land untouched by modern cities. It is home to the Uchar Waterfall, a colossal cascade that thunders down more than 160 meters across a massive pile of granite boulders, its roar echoing through the canyon like the voice of a sleeping giant. We have traveled across the ice of the north and the fire of the Pacific, but we are now approaching the very heart and soul of Siberia, a place of ancient shamans, mysterious ice anomalies, and a body of water so deep it holds a fifth of all the fresh water on our planet. Join us as we cross into the sacred sea. Our journey now reaches what many consider to be the very soul of Siberia, a place the local people call the Sacred Sea, and what modern science recognizes as the oldest and deepest lake on the entire planet, Lake Baikal. Born 25 million years ago, in a colossal rift where the Earth's crust is slowly pulling apart, this majestic lake holds nearly 20% of all the unfrozen fresh water in the world. More than all the North American Great Lakes combined, the rift is still active, widening by about 2 centimeters every single year, accompanied by nearly 2,000 earthquakes that shake the surrounding peaks annually. To stand on its shores is to stand on the edge of a future ocean. During the winter, when the season of dying water locks the continent in its grip, Baikal undergoes a spectacular transformation. The water is so famously transparent that you can look down 40 meters through the ice, watching fish glide below your feet as if you were walking on solid glass. The ice grows up to 2 meters thick, strong enough to support heavy trucks that use it as an official winter road. In the deepest silence of the Siberian night, the ice sings. It cracks and groans as the temperature fluctuates, sending deep, resonant acoustic waves echoing across miles of dark space. Caught frozen in mid-rise beneath the surface are thousands of perfect, glassy methane bubbles, looking like cosmic ornaments suspended in time. At the heart of this sacred sea lies Olkhon Island, a windswept, 72-kilometer stretch of golden steppe, dense larch forests, and sheer white limestone cliffs. For the indigenous Buryat people, Olkan is the spiritual center of the universe, a sacred ground where every river, tree, and cliff is inhabited by a living spirit. On Olkan's western shore, the dramatic twin peaks of Cape Burhan, also known as Shaman Rock, rise directly from the dark water. Within these stone peaks lies a small, hidden cave that served as one of the most important shamanic ritual sites in northern Asia for thousands of years. It is believed to be the dwelling place of the guardian spirit of Baikal itself. Local legends whisper that Genghis Khan was born among these hidden valleys, and to this day, prayer poles wrapped in colorful, wind-torn ribbons line the dirt tracks, marking the thin boundary between this world and the next. Have you ever felt a presence in a place that made you want to walk in absolute silence, as if the very air around you were listening? Do you believe that some landscapes hold on to the spiritual energy of the people who have lived there for thousands of years? Or is it just the psychological weight of standing in such immense, untouched solitude? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every reflection, and your insights are what build our community of global discovery. From the sacred waters of Baikal, we trace the steel thread that finally connected this vast, isolated continent to the rest of the civilized world, the legendary Trans-Siberian Railway. Stretching for more than 9,200 kilometers from Moscow in the west to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast, it is the longest continuous rail line in the world. Completed in 1916 after 25 years of brutal, forced labor through the taiga, the railway crosses 8 time zones, allowing travelers to watch the entire geography of Russia slide past their windows over a 7-day journey. Along this iron spine rise the great historical cities of Siberia. In the western foothills stands Tobolsk, the historic imperial capital of the region. Founded in 1587, shortly after Russian explorers first crossed the Urals, Tobolsk holds the only stone Kremlin ever built east of the mountains. Its towering white limestone walls and bright green copper roofs rise dramatically over the wide bend of the Irtysh River, one of the longest and most historic rivers in Asia. Inside its silent gates stand the cathedrals and palaces that once welcomed exiled aristocrats and the family of Tsar Nicholas II on their final, tragic journey east. Far to the east of Tobolsk lies Novosibirsk, the modern metropolis of Siberia and the third largest city in Russia. Founded in 1893 where the railway crossed the massive Ob River, it grew from a tiny bridge construction settlement into a city of over 1.5 million people in less than a century. Just south of the city, tucked into a quiet pine forest, lies Akamgorodok, the legendary academy town. Built in 1957 as a bold Soviet experiment to push the absolute frontiers of science deep into Siberia, it remains a thriving planned community of research institutes, physicists, and mathematicians living in harmony with the wild forest. Spanning the Obi River nearby is the Bugrinsky Bridge, its massive, bright red arch leaping nearly 400 meters across the water, reflecting in the dark current like a glowing curve of fire suspended above the Siberian night. Siberia is not a vacant lot, nor is it merely a frozen exile. It is an entire continent hidden inside a country, a land of ice, fire, stone, and an unbroken human spirit that has refused to be tamed. Only a tiny fraction of viewers possess the patience to complete a journey of this depth. If you have survived this expedition to the end of the world with us, write "I survived" in the comments below, proving that the fire of true curiosity still burns in a world of quick distractions. Subscribe to Earth Discovery, hit the like button, and join us on our next adventure. The question is not whether Siberia is worth the journey. The question is, which Siberia is waiting for you? Because when you finally set foot on this vast, ancient land, you do not simply travel through it. Something inside you slowly becomes a part of it. See you on the next adventure.